most of any other moves are probably going to be done after the draft at this point, I would think. I mean, do you see another big move coming? Anybody see anything big happening here prior to
It could. I don't think they're dependent on the draft because they don't have a pick.
They're not, but I mean, the whole idea of you're going to make a move and you want to trade another first-round pick, you have to wait until after.
Oh,
so
yeah.
are you going to keep making moves now, or are you going to wait until the new league year and then you start doing stuff there? After everything is complete. I'm not entirely sure.
A lot of their stuff's going to be trade dependent, but most of that stuff will obviously include a pick, like filling that TPE. Although that TPE does have to be filled before the league year ends because it expires at that point. So that's something we could see done before the draft. Other than that, you're looking at Tristan, what's going to happen with him and that big man front court as a whole, and then a big Smart decision at some point. Are they going to extend them? Are they going to extend Rob? Those are the things you're looking at.
Jeez.
No, I mean, you don't have to trade them. You could extend them. And then if you don't do any of those things, I think it's a weird setup next year. Like, everyone's going to be like, oh, is Smart sticking around? Is Smart part of this? Is Smart going to get traded? There's just going to be so much chatter all year.
I don't think he's off limits, but I just don't think he's a must-trade guy.
No, I don't either. I think you make the right deal for him, and if not, you keep him around. But it does get complicated in that room. Like, there's a guy who wanted to get paid 4 years ago, and now he's still not getting that respect, that money, that kind of treatment that he thinks he deserves. Like, I think that's, with all the stuff we've read about now, too, just in terms of him in the room, it gets really complicated there when they're trying to mend those fences in a very, frankly, dysfunctional room from what it sounds like.
Yeah, I need Sherrod to uncover the truth here. So I'm not your editor. I can't assign you, but I think that this one's got you written all over it here.
What you got?
Yeah. No, I mean, he'll get it. He doesn't have it yet, but he'll get it.
I thought you were saying okay.
Yeah, he'll get it. Because it is interesting. You really want to see. I am really interested with where things go. Again, it's interesting with me with the Smart thing. How many people have not only have moved to the opinion of, you got to get rid of him now. Like, he doesn't.
I know that's not how I feel. Again,
no, but some do. I'm getting that from a lot of places.
I'm getting that too. I'm surprised. I'm surprised to see Bobby on that train too.
No, and you know what? Me and John kind of flipped on this. It's very interesting because John has been saying forever,
get him out.
This guy doesn't have value. You're not going to get anything for him. And then I mention a Kyle Lowry trade, and you're like, you're going to trade Smart for Lowry? Why would you do that?
No, you said Smart and Robert Williams.
You were throwing a lot into that trade. Yeah. What I said was,
you're doing a lot that night
because I want to make it happen.
You're putting a lot of eggs into the basket of a 35-year-old player. That was more the issue. Not that so this is where you and I.
And that's the problem. The fact that you're trying to put in new money for an old, machine.
I thought that's what they need.
Again, you need that if you're like on the cusp of something.
If you're there.
Bobby, you keep trying to make moves for now. Like, Fournier was a great move for a team that was close and had everything except for wing depth. The Celtics had, 1,000 problems, and Fournier wasn't fixing anything in any real sort of way. I feel that way with Lowry too. I love Lowry, which is to say, if somebody left Lowry out on the curb, and said, hey, sent out an email to the neighborhood, who wants a Kyle Lowry? I'd be run out my door. It'd be like, oh my God, this guy's perfect. But if someone puts it on eBay and a bidding war starts, I don't know that you want to get into a bidding war.
Well, there's a reason
that you want to give up a ton of assets.
You want it to be the Toronto Raptors doing the guy a solid. Okay, look, we see where you are, your stage of your career. We're clearly hitting the reset button here. Let's put you in a situation where you can win and succeed. And obviously, we want some assets as well.
So forget Rob.
First, or maybe a young guy, and obviously Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, so throw Rob out of it because I understand why you guys don't want to move him. If it's just Smart, Thompson, and a future protected first, you wouldn't do that?
It's tempting. I'd think about it.
I think that would be a slam dunk, especially since you moved Thompson on that deal too.
If I do that, I'm under the assumption that the Celtics have no interest of bringing Marcus back. Well, obviously, but I'm saying money-wise, you're trying to make this thing work. But I just don't think Lowry's so much better than Smart.
Yeah, he's also 8 years older. I mean, 7 years older. You got to factor it in. It all depends. Like money matters
because
here.
Smart's gonna get a raise. Like that's.
But you do have a chance here. If Lowry really changes that room, brings the passing that you need. Much better shooter, a guy who can threaten to score off the dribble, defender, all these things. You have a bit, not like a Brooklyn big three, but you kind of have like a Phoenix big three here, and we see what the power of that would be.
Yeah, don't call it a big three though.
Here's the thing about those big threes that you talk about it, and when those teams come together, you know why they come together? Because they want to play together. They want to play together.
Well, Lowry will have to want to play here.
Not want to be here.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Why would he want to be here? What's
chance to win? Chance to win.
You think he's got a significantly greater chance to win here than all
Listen,
other?
You know how I feel about Miami. He could go to Miami. I'm just not seeing it.
New York.
Anymore. I'm thinking L.A.
New York.
I mean, but see, this is the thing.
I'm thinking
New York, L.A. All these cities. Those are the cities that the Celtics, when guys have options, they kind of choose those options more times than not.
Celtics aren't going to be on top of that list. That's true.
I do think the Lakers one would be interesting because they could flip Schroeder for him, and that probably appeals.
Yeah,
to
Lakers.
Toronto.
I think that would be at the top of his list.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't even embrace the concept of him ever being a Celtic.
I don't think he wants it. I don't think they have anything of value to give up in a sign and trade. I think he has choice in the matter here.
The only way it happens is if the Celtics, again, the Raptors are doing them a solid. Like, look. Here, whatever you want is fine, like that kind of deal. And obviously, that wouldn't be a Marcus Smart. But yeah, sorry, go ahead, John.
No, that's it. I just don't see it as plausible from all sides. It's one of those I want that player, but there's no path to getting him. And I think Lowry kind of fits there. Because
he would be a great fit. I actually agree.
Yeah.
He'd be a great fit, but Chris Paul would be a great fit.
Yeah, LeBron.
There's a lot of guys that would be a great
Schroeder.
Yeah.
Goodman jumping on.
No, I'm not going to co-sign a Dennis.
Goodman co-signing this today was exciting to me.
I know. That's why he got.
Yeah.
When somebody agrees with Bobby, he does get really excited.
No, I mean Goodman's been right about just about everything this offseason. Like he's on a roll here. I don't like his B.O. Brown thing though. That's where we're always going to butt heads. I wouldn't do that in a million years.
No, that's his greatest hit. What do you mean? He's saying that all year long, man. That's his
hit.
That's his chart-topping single right there.
No one wants the new stuff. You go to see the Jeff Goodman show. You want him to play the hits. So,
yeah, for real.
So that's definitely one of them.
Brogdon's interesting too.
You line yourself up with Jeff Goodman. That means that you buying that. You're buying that. You know what I mean? You're buying that album, that CD.
Like I said, I think we have
that
to look
point guard thing. So if you're keeping Smart and you're largely just rolling it forward here, you got to really be confident Smart can play that point guard spot all year long.
I'm not. They need something. This is a really important one. Like I said, I'm willing to give up a lot to get the guy you absolutely know you like. I'm not willing to. So again, the trade a whole bunch of stuff guy is Lonzo, if it's doable. I'm not sure if it is. The see if you can sign him and squeeze him in is Dinwiddie. And then you start to go below those guys and see.
Well, here's
bargain basement sort of picks, But could you convince someone like Dinwiddie to say, "Come here, you have there's no competition for you. You're my starting guy. You're the point guard. You get to play with these guys."
No, I just think there's too many teams going to be interested in him to pay big money for him too.
Maybe.
Yeah, plus he's going to be thinking about it. Oh, I'm going to be a third option. Maybe that means a lot to him. Maybe it doesn't. It's hard to say.
I think you remove some pressure when you go somewhere and you don't have to be the primary guy. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
but if you're more of a seasoned vet, though, right? I mean, this guy's
got to cash out. He's got to get that
man.
He
put together one heck of a demo reel, if you will. For potential max money suitors. I don't know. I just think he's going to be one of those guys just out of the Celtics' range.
Yeah. Oh, there goes John. John's gone. See,
Lonzo, that's different. Robert, Marcus, some picks. But that still won't get it done. That still won't get it done, right, Sherrod? Would it?
I don't think so.
It's not.
I don't think so. Lonzo, look, listen, you're talking about, trying to move into the suburbs. Lonzo is like top of the high rise.
Yeah.
It goes to Rod's real estate.
Yeah, you just don't have the capital to get that high-rise real estate crib.
Yeah, I also for the money he's gonna make, as you mentioned there, Sherrod, I still don't know if because that's your big three, and that's why I'm against Ben Simmons too. People tossing around that idea. Like, that's not a flyer. That's not, let's just see how it goes. That's, all right, we're locking in on this guy as the third big three.
That's a nosedive. That's not flying. That's a nosedive.
Yeah, that's it's Tatum, Brown, and Simmons. Tatum, Brown, and Ball for the next 4 years. So that's why that one's a little more tricky. But at some point, you do have to make a decision there. Who's going to be that third guy? The interesting thing here, and this is something to really watch this offseason, Brad keeps talking about flexibility. And the math panned out that in this Horford trade, if you jump out of that contract next year, the partially guaranteed one, you do open up a max slot next offseason. And the only way that you can maintain that is keeping smart on that expiring deal, not extending Rob, letting Fournier go for nothing. You need to bite some bullets this offseason. Make this a bit of a bridge year to maintain that cap space. That's going to be really interesting because I think it's tough to bite that bullet this year. But if you really think someone would come next offseason and you want to have that space open, you do have to do all of those things to maintain it. So that's going to be a really tough decision for them this summer.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Robert's going to qualify an offer for $10 million next year, right?
Yeah, they could bring him the restricted, so that makes that one much easier.
You don't have to. You're not under the pressure to having to re-sign him on top of trying to chase down a top tier free agent. So
yeah.
I mean, that's Again, next summer is the year, especially now that happened a while ago, but they traded off Kemba. You're positioning yourself nicely.
You could go after Beal. You could, if he wants to come.
Hi guys, Cedric Maxwell here. I want to take a minute to tell you about Marigold Medical. I'm used to keeping my body in great shape, but with arthritis, even the most simple everyday tasks became unbearable. As soon as I called Marigold Medical, I knew I was in good hands. No drugs, no surgery, just an experienced team of caring professionals that wanted to get me back to doing the things I love. Make the call to Marigold Medical and get back to pain-free life.